And we're back with another episode of Matt and John. I'm John.
And I'm Matthew.
And today, we're going to be talking about the most overrated celebrities.
And we're going to be talking about the movie. Oh my gosh. We had such a good roll going and I had to mess it up. We're talking about the movie. Oh my god.
We're going to be talking about the movie Sharkboy and Lava Girl.
I was literally about to call it, what they call it, Shark Girl and Lava Boy. Oh my god, I'm getting my parents old. I don't know. What's the word?
Dyslexia?
No, they don't got dyslexia. I'm the
No,
one
but
cursed
you do.
with that.
Mm.
Okay, and then we're going to be talking about the album by Lady Gaga.
The Fame.
The Fame
Monster. This is a deluxe version, which has 23 songs.
Yes. Too many. And
less is better, Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Less is better.
And so that's what we're going to be talking about today.
And our new routines, now that classes started again. Woohoo.
Oh, yeah.
We're excited. Can't you tell?
Yes. So, first of all, let's just talk about what we've been going through with this in the last 2 weeks since the last time we recorded this podcast. Let's see. It was the prep week, basically getting ready for school, and then our first week of school, which, I mean, it went by
pretty quick.
Our routine mine is very kind of simple because I don't have to meet. I thought I was going to have to do because I'm only taking 2 classes, but I thought I was going to have 2 different Zoom, calls, and then it'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then have nothing Friday, but it's just Monday, Wednesday, because my human rights teacher didn't want to do Zoom calls, so that's nice. What about you, John? What's your Zoom call schedule?
I've already told you my Zoom call schedule.
No, you have not. You've only told me. I only know
really?
Your theater one.
No, it's just the theater one. It's kind of nice, actually.
So you have all your other classes is all just digital?
Like my philosophy professor just has the time down as per your schedule, so.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I kind of like not having the Zoom call thing because, I don't know, I didn't have to do Zoom calls last semester. I don't know if you had to do Zoom calls last semester.
I did.
But, a lot of it is just attendance and then the teacher talking, but it's kind of, I don't know. I just was like, you can just say everything you're doing in the Zoom call, you could just post in a text box in a module on Canvas and call it good.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. We both have the same intro to theater arts teacher. I feel so bad for that man.
He's doing a pretty good job.
Doing
regardless.
Good. Yeah, I just feel really bad just because he's so new to all this technology and he just got slapped in his lap and said, figure it out. I heard they did get training from this school.
Yeah.
But, I doubt.
Whether it was extensive or not, because the training they had to get when the pandemic first broke out, it's 3 days.
Yeah, it was really bad. Because we had school, then they excused school for, Monday, was that what it was?
I think
because they announced it Sunday, and then they said, Monday there's no school
they
or
announced,
classes.
When did we go to Sacramento? Because it was the day we went to Sacramento.
Oh, Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday. Saturday, and then they said no school Monday.
Or Tuesday.
Yeah. That feels like a lifetime ago when they
announced that. That was 5 freaking months ago.
Yeah, that's crazy that it was so long ago. I still think it's weird that MJC doesn't give us a spring break. I understand. I kind of understand, but every other college gets a spring break.
Are you still pressed about that?
Yeah, because, that would be nice. A little break in the between of all that chaos that happens in the spring semester.
Well, what about the fall?
You get the really long Christmas break.
Yeah, so why do we need spring break? It's a community college.
Other community colleges get spring break.
Well, then I don't know what to tell you.
I think Delta gets spring break.
Well, then you know what you can do?
Transfer to Delta.
Well, actually, I was gonna say get a good education, become dean of the college, and then.
That sounds like way too much work.
Well, then stop complaining.
I mean, I could just not do work for a week in the middle of the semester, call it my spring break. And the teacher's like, why'd you not do your work? I'd be like, because it's my spring break. They're like, but we don't have spring break. I said, not in my fantasy.
Or you could just say that you were taking a mental health week.
Yeah. Can't give me homework. I mean, they still could, because, I feel like professors don't care. Nah. Do you like professors better than, high school teachers, or do you not? Are you like high school teachers? Like, those type of teachers? So non-college teachers, basically what I'm talking
I
about.
like college professors a little better. They aren't as uptight.
Yeah, because they don't have to deal with it's a different environment in college, is what I've
It's
noticed.
a vastly different environment.
It's
Like, it's kind of weird not even having to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. You can just get up and go. Or if,
Mhm.
I don't know, you don't feel like being there,
You don't have
you
to
can just
go
get up and go. Or
because
you don't have to go at all because you're paying for the
you're
class.
paying for the class, and you're not being monitored by like the state and stuff like that. It's not required education compared to being in high school and all that.
Well, and also I think it helps that because schools, if a student attends, they get like some money or whatever.
It's
Colleges don't have that
because you're
requirement. I
paying
think.
for it all out of your own
Yeah.
thing. So I was like, that's one thing. And also, like, I know everyone says this because you always get told that college is hard, it's rough, blah, blah, blah. But, like, honestly, I feel like you're more of a community in college than you are in high school. Because in high school, you forget something, if you don't have a friend in that class, then more than likely you're not going to get an extra pencil because the teacher's going to be like, don't steal my pencils
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Where, like, in college, I remember we had the what are those called? The testing sheets, and like they didn't
Scantrons.
the scantrons. They didn't have any that I needed, and I would have to go all the way to the bookstore, and I was like, dang it! I was like 5 minutes left, and my teacher had this whole like, if they close the door, you can't come in, and especially on exam days, and so you might as well not even like take the exam. It's like I don't have to take a makeup exam, and I literally all I had to do is be like crap. Like I literally just said crap out loud when I realized they didn't have it. And the guy behind me was like, which one do you need? And I was like, oh, I need this kind. I forgot what kind it was. And he was like, oh, I got you, and handed it to me. So then I went to hand him the money because in high school, usually that's what you had to do is you had to pay the person. And he goes, oh no, he goes, don't worry, we all have those days. I got you. And I was just like, I just was in awe. And I was just in high school. They would literally the kid behind you would have just laughed at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone here is like, we're all struggling. It's okay. I got you.
In my history class that I took in the fall, there was a couple of students that actually forgot to get a Scantron, and this guy had a whole pack of them, and he just handed them out.
And I was, because like in high school, you always have the kids that are selling snacks, and you're always having. I think it was a Bayer or Big Valley. I'm exposing all the schools I went to now, but I don't go there anymore.
You're gonna get dogs.
It's not. It's fine. They already know where we are. It's fine. But I just remember someone would literally bring Lunchables to school and sell them because they knew the school lunches were crap. And they were like, you can buy this, this, and this for this, a combo meal, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, are you serious? I mean, we have, what's it called? We have a friend that was that kid that would bring candy to school, and that was their, job for the longest time. It's just crazy. And also in college, for the most part, I mean, I had one teacher that was still kind of uptight about food in their classroom, but for the most part, you can eat and drink in your classrooms in college compared to high school, where it's very rare that you find a teacher that's chill with that.
Like once class starts, put the water bottle away.
Yeah,
don't drink.
Water bottle, and it was this whole thing. And I was like, in college.
I see in college when we were going to class, I saw students with soda bottles and water and juice.
Well, they have a cafe on campus inside the thing, and I would always see. I had a morning class. I'd always see kids with coffee, and the kids brought in Starbucks. Teacher brought in Starbucks. Was eating during class, and that was my psych class. But oh my god, my English teacher did not want gum in her classroom. Any kind of food. Only thing she allowed was water. Anything else, no. And I was just like, a part of me was kind of like, but you don't even have to, you're not in charge of your room. Like, you literally, it's kind of like you're renting out this room. So, like, why are you so uptight about it? I guess you're looking out for the janitorial staff. But I think in college, you kind of are mature enough to clean up your mess. But
not really.
I don't know. To me, I am. But
well, no. I'm speaking as someone who got a piece of gum that had a piece of gum under the desk, and my shirt got stuck on it.
Ew.
It was really disgusting.
The worst thing I've ever had was when I sat in gumware at Disneyland. That's the worst thing that ever. Do you remember that?
I think didn't that?
It was that giant green rock next to the Adventureland bathrooms. Oh yeah. And I sat down, not because it's green gum. Sat down on this giant green rock, and I had like gum on my pants and shirt. Yeah, I was like, why? You know what I probably could have done, and I didn't do it, but
Mm.
apparently if this stuff like that happens, you can go to like, what's the building? Oh my God, City Hall,
Oh yeah, City
and
Hall.
you
Yeah.
can like tell them that like someone left gum there, and half the time Disney will give you a voucher so you can go to like the store and get like shirts and pants.
Shoot, I'm surprised you didn't remember that.
I didn't remember that, but also I think it also has to deal with if it's their fault. So I guess that probably doesn't fall underneath their fault. But I'm sure, depending how people pleasing they are, and if we were nice about it, I'm sure they would have been like, okay, you can go here and get this. Because I think that's that's what I've heard from cast members is that like if you are like nice about it and not asking for it but just mentioning it or whatever, like don't expect it to happen, then
Mm-hmm.
more than likely it will happen. But if you go in there and act like you're entitled to it or whatever, then they'll be
It's
like
not gonna happen.
sorry,
Suck it up.
or they won't be very pleased. I mean, I'm because they always want to make sure you're having a nice visit, and I'm sure them turning you away saying that that's not gonna happen will make some people really mad. So I'm sure they still would do it, but
I don't think they'd be too happy about
it
it.
would be a passive aggressive, and it just wouldn't be a nice experience for everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was able to get free band-aids and stuff when I remember my heels were bleeding from my shoes, and we had to go to the first aid thing, and I had to get
Oh
band-aids.
yeah.
Yeah, free band-aids. All I had to do was put my name on a paper and say why I was checking out band-aids. Apparently, I didn't know this, but I assume that, which is really cool of them, is if women are on their period in the park, they can go there for free tampons.
That's cool. Shoot.
I, I believe there's some. I don't know. I've never been in the female bathroom at Disneyland, but I've heard is that that some of them have tampon machines and they're free in the bathrooms at,
I think.
at Disneyland. I've never been in the female bathrooms, but that's what I've heard. I don't know if they're in there. I don't know if they're always stocked, but that's what I've heard is that they have tampon machines. Sorry, readjusting. Okay, well, yeah. I'm just my schedule for school is very chill. It's all kind of on your own time, which is nice. Just trying to get through it.
I didn't realize how much of a tangent we just went on.
Yeah.
We went from talking about our routine to Disneyland.
I don't know. This next 3 weeks is going to be the adjustment period where you're going to get adjusted to the workload. But after that, it's a good, smooth sailing up until like
The finals.
till like third week out from finals, and then that's when it kind of gets, because you usually have a big paper or a big project that to do
Yeah.
then,
Hmm.
or whatever week you have a test. Is usually the weeks that you're kind of like, oh shoot, I don't get. I've never had a mid. Yeah, I've never had a midterm. Knock on wood, because I knowing me,
You're gonna have a midterm this
I'm gonna
semester.
have a midterm. But yeah, I've had exams, but I haven't had midterms, finals. But yeah. Okay, so you want to move on to Sharkboy and Lava Girl and that mess of a movie?
Man.
Okay, so John texted me, and because I asked him if you watched and listened to what he needed to for the thing, and what did you have to say in that text
I
message?
was afraid to watch it. It's it's so cheesy.
It's
And it's definitely
aged.
yeah, and it's definitely a Robert Rodriguez kids movie.
Oh my god, I was watching this, and I was just like, it literally, I know it's based off of a story that his son created when he was like 5 or something like that. So it does definitely feel, he did stick to the material. He didn't stray, didn't do really anything to the plot line of it. It
Yeah.
feels like it's right out of a kid's,
Especially
imagination.
especially like the ice cream part or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you're little, you watch it because that's the stories you're literally thinking in your head. So you're like having it on a screen. You're just like,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Because it's a dream world where kids can do whatever the heck they want.
I think if the movie was really, okay, kind of, if the way you can look at it is like, it feels like, in like Disneyland or like Universal, they have those 3D theater movies. It feels like to me, it feels just like a one really long version of that they would have in the theme parks where it's like an attraction or whatever. Because that was the big selling point around that. Because it's right when 3D came out was this movie is in 3D,
yeah.
and I feel like you almost have to watch it in 3D to get like
the full experience.
The full experience, which I used to. That's growing up, I think that was one of my first 3D movies I had was Sharkboy and Lava Girl. And so I just remembered, like, my parents would always want to watch the 2D version. I'm like, no, you have to watch it in 3D. I always remember watching that and Spy Kids and 3 Kids. The Spy Kids 3 in 3D.
Spy Kids, 3 Kids.
Oh, sorry. That was a two, like, they're not as good. You have to watch those in, 3D. So I feel like we watched it in 3D, which...
I really don't think it would have changed it.
I know that it wouldn't have changed it, but you still get the whole 3D thing.
Yeah.
And if you like 3D, then it's the good movie. If the movie... Now, pardon me, low-key wants them to refurbish it and redo the graphics just so you could have a nice 3D movie to watch. And have it, like, all 4K. Because it's a very vibrant movie.
Yeah.
And it does... Even though the graphics is horrible, if they just redid it with, like, modern, like... CGI and like graphics and stuff like that, and you just could have that playing on like a 4K television in the background and just have it be like a reel or something, I'd be fine with that. But plot line, I mean, it's not okay. I don't want to be like it's a horrible movie, like because it's not. It's a very interesting storyline. It's
basic.
I feel like I don't know. Part of me likes that he stuck to his kid's vision like all the way through. He could have made the characters actually have like a storyline, like a more in-depth like feeling and stuff like that. But like, a part of me is like, does that take away from the whole child innocent type movie that it is? Because they do have a kind of the darker plot line of the parents arguing and about to get a divorce and stuff like that. But it's very like it's not like. It's like they pandered kind of to it, but they don't really fully address it, I feel like a part of me is kind of like just remake it, but actually make it like more realistic in a way. And like it actually someone is like it's inspired by the story, but it's not solely. Story. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be very interesting. So. I don't know. Out of everything we've watched, where would you rank it? I mean, my childhood nostalgia come in and play, because I have seen this movie. I want to say dozens of times because I watched it so much as a kid. And honestly, that scene with Sharkboy dancing and singing isn't that bad.
But it's
just so out of place. Yeah. You can definitely tell a kid was like, "I'm gonna have a musical number here." Because I remember when I was little, I was like, this needs to be on iTunes or whatever. Like, I want to listen to this all the time.
This slaps. But now it's like, it's kind of cringy. I'm not going to lie.
I just like, and my biggest question, that flip he does at the beginning, where he does like the like cartwheel flip thing. I've watched that scene so many, like just that part so many times, and still in my head, I was like, is that humanly possible, or did they use CGI? But I looked so closely, and I was like, because the CGI in that movie, you can tell when it's CGI, and it doesn't look like it. So I was like, they really had either Taylor Lautner or some stunt double do that. Because I like look at it, I'm just like, how did he do that? His character, I remember as a kid, I loved his character. I was like, he's so cool. That's so cool. And then I'm watching this movie, and I was like, he is annoying.
He's mean.
He's mean and annoying. I guess he's a part shark, but still, like, I mean, his guardian sharks were nice.
But he's, like, constantly grumpy.
Grumpy and all that. And so, like, and then Lava Girl is just, like, I don't know. I feel like they could have played up the whole she's insecure about herself. Because they meant, like, she doesn't know her purpose. And her reasoning behind who she is still makes no sense whatsoever. She's the light. But, like, I don't know. I feel like they could have came up with a better, like, reasoning. Like, that volcano powers his whole imagination or something. And that's why she has to protect it. Or, I don't know. Something like that. But I say if you've seen it before, go back and rewatch it. It's kind of one of those, like, what are they called? The guilty binge watching thing. It's one of those
guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures. It's a guilty pleasure. But if you've never seen it, and you're an adult, then I don't think you should go watch it because you're gonna be like, I don't see the hype around this. I do like the ending though. When they come back to the Earth, and that whole thing.
Oh yeah,
I like that part, and it also besides the
and I like George Lopez too.
yeah they probably had to pay that man a lot of money to be in that movie
because it was at the height of his
career
popularity.
This
He
is
was doing the George Lopez show at the time too, I think.
oh in the middle of this. I'm going a little tangent, but in the middle of me watching this, I was like, "What happened to George Lopez?" I know he's kind of doing comedy specials, but I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh my god! I don't think there's any big streaming service that has the George Lopez show, and that would be like a major hit on like Netflix or something like that." So I go Google it. Apparently, it's exclusive to YouTube TV, so you
That's
can watch that
disgusting.
on demand on YouTube TV.
That's disgusting.
And I said, why? Like, because that's just a TV service.
Yeah.
Why do they need?
Why not Hulu or Netflix?
And then I was like, is that on YouTube Red or Premium or whatever? So I'm like, I'll have to look into that. But like, if it's only exclusive to YouTube TV, that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
It's like, can you put it on Netflix, please? I don't know who made it. ABC I think made it. So put it on Hulu. I don't know. I want to watch it again because I loved watching that when I was little.
It was like one of my favorite movies. And I remember when I was a kid, I remember having the biggest crush on Taylor Dooley. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it the daughter?
No,
The mom?
no, Lava Girl.
Oh, you're talking about Lava Girl. I thought you were
Oh
talking
my
about I was talking about George Lopez.
No.
You know, are you gonna watch the what's it called? He's making is it a movie on with Netflix about heroes, and apparently she's gonna be in it. Lava Girl's gonna be in it.
Yeah, I told you about this. It's like a sequel, and Lava Girl and
Apparently it's not a
Sharkboy
sequel.
apparent.
Apparently it's like I don't know. I heard because I was reading up on it, and it doesn't sound like it's gonna be a full on sequel. They're gonna be.
It's gonna be like
in
a
it.
loose follow up or whatever.
I think it's gonna be like I'm imagining it's gonna be a bunch of different short like heroes coming together.
Maybe.
I don't know. All I know is that I saw that, but apparently Taylor Lautner's not in the movie. He's gonna be like, or he has like a few speaking lines, but he's not a main point in the movie. Taylor Dooley is the main point in the movie.
Well, anyway, stream Sharkboy and Lava Girl. Check it out.
If you're a
If you think
kid,
you can stomach it.
or if you've already seen it. If you haven't seen it, I don't think you should go watch
Yeah,
it.
no.
Okay, the Fame Monster. I have a few opinions on this.
I like it. It's a good album.
I like the album, but I do think that the Fame, because okay, how do I break this down? So there's the Fame, and then the Fame Monster. The Fame has, I believe, 15 tracks. It's her debut album, and typically debut albums have a lot of filler on them. You know what I mean? A filler track where it has to sound similar to the rest of the album. They're establishing themselves. It's usually, you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, whatever. You have these hits. It's fine. And I mean, the hits off of it, I mean, Paparazzi, Poker Face, Just Dance, and Love Game.
They're all
Really good. Really good. I just remember hearing Love Game when I was little, and I was like, what is a disco stick? And now I'm like, oh. Just look back at that, and I was like, wow. A disco stick? You don't know what a disco stick is? A penis.
Oh. Can we say that on here?
Yes.
Okay. No, I didn't. I seriously didn't know.
Because she literally says, what is it called? What's the line? There's a line. She literally she says dick in the song.
Oh.
What is that line? I can't think of the line now. But I think if people know the song, they know. It's like...
Yeah.
Maybe I'm hearing it wrong. Maybe... Because she's like... She says bust that... She either says she...
Find your words.
Let me find my word. She either says bust that stick or bust that dick, which she's talking about penises, and then I'm assuming she's saying bust that dick, but
maybe.
But she already said love stick. I don't know. We'll have to look up the lyrics after this, but that part is really good. One song that I don't think it really got talked about that's from that is
Monster?
No, that's on the Fame Monster.
Oh, you're just talking about the actual album.
The Fame, like, because I believe what happened was she was having such a high momentum
Mm-hmm.
that they wanted her to continue it, and so then she released an 8-track album called it was it was called Monster, and it was kind of like they were like, well, they go together, so let's just make them a one big long album, and so that's how the Fame Monster happened. I think that Monster, which is let me get my list up. But the add-ons is the standouts when it comes down to the whole thing. So everything from Bad Romance down to Just Dance. So, show me, John. From Bad Romance all the way down to Just Dance, that's Monster.
Oh.
And then the rest is the Fame.
I will say it's a good album, but
There is a bunch of
23
fillers.
songs is just too much.
And it's not. How do I say this without making people mad? Making the little monsters mad. It just, after a while, a lot of the songs at the end of the playlist, they kind of sound the same. I think the same producer and stuff like that, and there's not that much distinguishing them besides the lyrics, because honestly, after what's it called, the Fame or Money Honey, around there, that's kind of, they all kind of start sounding together. So, but I did discover new songs I liked. The songs that I discovered that I really like was Nothing Else I Can Say. That I liked that. That's the newest one. All the other ones on the album, from literally all the top ones, from Bad Romance all the way down to Poker Face, I already knew. So which one did you new one that you heard that you were like, oh, this is really good? Monster. I
really
love
like that
Monster.
That was a good one.
The way I learned about this was from TikTok.
Monster?
I mean, I knew kind of it because everyone says it's a Halloween song because the word monsters in it. But like, I didn't really hear it as I didn't really hear it as, a Halloween song. But TikTok made it a little bit popular, so I was like, okay, let me check, like maybe listen to the whole song because I've heard bits and pieces, and I was like, oh, this is really good. So Monster. Oh, So Happy I Can Die was another one I really liked that I didn't know before. I love Speechless too. But I found that popped up on my shuffle at the beginning of this year, and I added it to my playlist for this year, and I'm just like, this is such a good song, and it's the most distinguished one out of all the rest of them, because it's like all the other, I mean, there's another one that kind of sounds a little similar to it, but it's not, it's like out of all of them, it's more stripped back and not as in your face poppy.
Yeah. Oh, that chair is so uncomfortable.
Yeah. I just think 23 songs was a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the only other album I've listened to that has as much as that usually has interludes or like these little voice things or stuff like that, where it's 23 tracks, but it's really like 16 to 14 songs, and the rest is all this extra like stuff that helps the story go along. This one is you can tell this one is they were just trying to pump out everything and give the fans the content that they needed. But
it's 23 songs is too much.
I think if it was cut off, I mean, if you just count the monster part, like those 8 tracks, very good, solid album, and then just added on singles from the Fame would be like really, really good, and then left the other ones out. Yeah, but because you can tell definitely which song is filler. I was excited for Starstruck because Flo Rida was in it, and Flo Rida for like good feeling and all that. And I was like, oh, he's gonna add something to the song, and I listened to it. And I said he did not add nothing to this song. But yeah, but for the most part, like all the album. I don't know where would I put it. It probably would go down at the bottom. It still would go underneath, so it would go down around. I still like it better than No Protection, but I don't. But it's not better than anything else we've listened to. If it was cut off at where it should have been cut off, then it would have been higher.
Yeah.
But it was all the filler tracks that kind of pushed it down for me. But that being said, Bad Romance is still one of the best pop songs of this generation.
And Paparazzi.
I
like Paparazzi.
I love Paparazzi. That's the song. I think that's the first song I really like paid attention to from her.
Yeah.
And I think it's only because of when I was little. We have a friend named Ashley, and she was a big Lady Gaga fan, like when she was first coming out. And I just remember I was in her room one day and she was playing some of her music, and Paparazzi came on, and that was the one that stood out to me. And I asked her what song it was, and it's Paparazzi by Lady Gaga. And ever since then, I was always listening to Paparazzi. I just thought it was so cool. And then what's it called? The whole iconic MTV. Have you seen that video? Her performing it at the VMAs where she's bleeding.
No.
Oh, it's so good. I'll have to show you it after this. But it's such a good. So I think that's the same time. That's when she also wore the meat dress. It's like that's all the same night.
Yeah.
So
I
yes,
remember that one.
and it was either that or the year after that. But yeah, so I'm trying to think of how I'd rank, because you haven't heard all of Lady Gaga's albums. I've heard almost all of them. I still have not heard Cheek to Cheek with Tony Bennett. I still haven't pulled myself to listen to that album. But I think I would put it. I guess Cheek to Cheek is at the bottom right now because I haven't heard it. No, Jolene would be down there too because I didn't really enjoy Jolene. You know, her country, not her country face, but with Million Reasons and that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when she was wearing the cowboy hat. I
Yeah.
guess it would go Cheek to Cheek, Jolene, Fame, Monster. But if it was if I split it up, then it'd be the Fame, and then probably Chromatica, and then then probably Monster, then Born This Way, then Monster, then Art Pop. Am I missing another album by her? No, I'm not. Unless you count the Star Is Born soundtrack, which I don't. I think Art Pop is still her best album, but that's just because I really like electronic music. So everyone hates Art Pop. I don't understand it. But so where would you rank it on what we've listened to? Do we have to go over the list of what we've listened to?
Probably.
Okay, first week we listened to Future Nostalgia.
Second week, No Protection.
No
Third
Protection.
week wasn't it Teenage Dream?
It might have been Teenage Dream. I know we did Dangerous Woman at some point.
And then 25.
And 25. Okay.
And that was the last one, wasn't it?
The last one we did was Dangerous Woman.
Oh,
25
okay.
was before that.
Probably number 2. Yeah, 25 and then Monster.
Well, Fame. You have to count the
Fame.
whole. You have to count the whole thing, even
I had
with
a
all the
brain fart. The
fillers.
Fame.
Even with all the fillers, it's number 2.
Well, do I have to count?
You have to count everything that's on the Fame Monster because we listened to the whole. We didn't listen to just Monster. Or it's Fame Monster Deluxe. I'm calling it Monster, but it's the Fame Monster is the 8 tracks. But Fame Monster Deluxe version is what we listened to, which is all 23. So,
I mean,
well, the question is, does the filler songs weigh down the album for you? Because you did say it's 23 songs.
yeah. I'd probably place it number 4 with 25, Teenage Dream, and Dangerous Woman, like, coming in front. If it's just the album itself, you know, just the regular, you know, without the 8 tracks, what is it?
Also, just the Fame.
Yeah, just the regular.
So the 15 tracks.
Yeah, if it was that, it would be number 2.
So you don't like what was added on?
Not really. I mean,
So
23 songs is just way too much.
but that's the main core is right there. So you're cutting out Bad Romance, Alejandro, Monster, Speechless, Dance in the Dark, Telephone, So Happy I Can Die, and Teeth.
I'm cutting out the extra tracks.
So you're cutting that's off the fame.
Oh,
So
I thought it was like...
so that's what's it called? Money Honey, Starstruck, Boys Boys Boys, Paparazzi Gangster, Brown Eyes, I Like It Rough, Summer Boy, and Disco Heaven.
Oh. I don't know. It's
Confusing.
It's a good album. Like, that's it. It's a good album.
So, but if you could take, so still keep all those, but cut out all these and replace it with what's on the Fame Monster, you would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that too. Okay, we can move on now. I think.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Positive.
She just has so many good songs and then so many okay songs where it's like, it's kind of jarring.
But she doesn't have any really bad songs.
No, not that I can think of. I don't know. I haven't heard Cheek to Cheek. I have not heard a song off of Cheek to Cheek. So
It's with Tony Bennett. I'm sure it's good.
and yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the what's it called? What's going on? Pop culture. Let me open up my Twitter app and get bookmark. My bookmarks are ready. Do you have anything? You should go first. You want to talk about the big elephant in the room as we're recording
freaking Chadwick Boseman died, dude. Man,
so weird.
it doesn't even feel real, you know?
It's just like, is this our first like
Big celebrity death of the year? I think so.
besides Kobe Bryant?
And John Lewis. You don't know who John Lewis
What
is?
is he?
Civil rights activist. He was one of the original marchers, you know.
For Stonewall?
I think it was Stonewall. Shoot. No,
Well, I'm going to talk about this before it gets out of my head. I didn't put it in my bookmarks, but apparently a park in New York is being named after Martha. So Marsha and Martha. Oh my god, I should know this. Marsha. Correct. Marsha B. Johnson or Martha B. Johnson?
Who was that?
Oh my god, let me look. Okay, stall while I'm looking. I don't want to get this wrong.
No, but he was part of the Big Six, which this like 6 prominent, you know, civil rights organizers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's Marsha.
Martin Luther King Jr., James Farmer, John Lewis, A. Philip Randolph, Roy Wilkins, and Whitney Young.
Oh, okay. I said Stonewall. That's not Stonewall, but
no,
okay.
Stonewall was...
That's the
Wasn't it the LGBT?
Yes, that's...
Yeah.
Marsha B. Johnson was the person who threw the first brick at Stonewall.
Oh.
She's getting her own. First, she was
wasn't she a
black trans woman.
black trans woman. No, I saw something about
She's
her.
getting her own park named after her. All right. So any movie... I'm sad about Chadwick Boseman. I don't want to brush over that. That's kind of rude. I'm just
The
surprised.
disrespect. He's had colon cancer for the last 4 years. So this man gave us Black Panther and Jackie Robinson and 21 Bridges. While he had colon cancer.
Have you seen 21 Bridges yet?
Yeah, I rented it. It was actually
I haven't
really
seen it yet.
good.
Is it on? I'm gonna look for it on streaming services.
So good.
That's what we should do. You want to have like a movie marathon of his movies?
When?
I don't know, soon.
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom had their baby.
Daisy Bloom.
I'm so glad they didn't choose a crazy name.
Which was kind of surprising.
I mean, I kind of honestly think she wouldn't have chose a crazy name. Because what's it called? Orlando's other kid's name isn't that crazy. I don't remember his name is, but it's not crazy. So. And I think it's so, like, crazy that she was really, like, promoting an album while she was 9 months pregnant. And 10 months, because, you know, she went into 10 months. That's all that. Have you seen that tweet?
No.
But
She was 10 months pregnant? What?
She said she literally tweeted out saying, like, they should change. You know how everyone thinks it's 9 months of pregnancy? No, they're wrong. It's 10 months. She goes, this baby has been in me 10 months now. Get out.
That's weird.
That was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But like literally she was like, so she has her baby, right? And then a day later releases an album. literally tweeting from her hospital bed, being like, "Go buy my album." I was like, this woman does not stop working, and I was like, I do not want to see any slander of her because she literally was doing everything during her pregnancy, and yeah, I don't want to see any disrespect for her. No, no, I won't stand for it. Because like other like that's just shows how strong she is if she's able to do the whole promoting thing during a pandemic and while being pregnant. So if I hear anyone speaking bad about Katy Perry, worm for brains. Oh my god, worm for brains. I got worms in my brain. Apparently I do tonight. Okay. Disney. We're gonna trade off. You read that one.
You want to add this one?
No, I don't want to read.
When do you ever want to read? Disney featured the first bisexual lead character in a new show, The Owl House. The show is it's a 14-year-old Dominican American girl who has relationships with both male and female characters across the show. Interesting.
Are they going to cancel this one like they cancel all the other ones when it has queer representation in it? They better not.
What was that one?
Andy Mack.
I don't like this, or what was it again?
That wasn't on Disney though.
Well, yeah, but it still got canceled.
Oh, I'm not okay with this.
I'm not okay with this.
I was so mad when I saw that.
It was gonna get so good.
And we still have one more season left of Sabrina, but after that it's canceled. Which rude.
They're making some very bad choices here.
And then Katy Perry is the 10-year anniversary of Teenage Dream.
Man, that makes me feel old.
Yeah. I still can't believe it has a 52 on Metacritic. Fucking critics. Sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Watch your profanity.
Trigger warning. Language. But that's just so dumb. And it also didn't win a Grammy. The best pop record, arguably, of this decade didn't win a Grammy.
Mean last decade?
Or this century, that's what I meant. It didn't win a Grammy. Oh my god. That's another thing. I always kind of hold the Grammys with a grain of salt because they didn't win a Grammy.
Robbed.
It was so... Robbed. Yes, robbed.
The Weeknd tells Esquire he wants to write a full-length album for a female artist. I have a whole vision for The Weeknd.
That'd be really chill. He's a good writer, so I'm okay. I'm down for it. It'd have to be someone in his own like lane, like R&B pop type thing. Everyone's saying Ariana and him should release another song together. You can skip over that one. It's not news.
About Halsey?
Yeah.
I've never listened to The Weeknd. I only know him because he dated one of the Hadid sisters at one point.
You should listen to. Should I choose a Weeknd album?
We can do a Weeknd album.
Okay.
A limited series about Tiger King's Joe Exotic is officially ordered at NBC. The drama is set to star Kate McKinnon. Oh, that's Carol Baskin. You know I gotta watch it. I love Kate McKinnon.
Oh, the first thing I'd be like, I love Tiger King. I'd be like,
no,
get back.
I've never even watched that.
I watched 1.5 episodes, and then I said, this is too crazy for me.
I didn't get it. So did she murder Tiger King, or did he murder what?
She apparently murdered her husband. She ran out of... I didn't get to that point in this show. They don't talk about it until, I guess, the end of the season. But I got to the part where Joe Exotic sent a snake in the mail to her. And I said, I gotta click this off. I don't want no snakes in my mail. Yeah, she is like an animal. She loves cats and thinks that his exhibit or whatever is horrible for the environment, horrible for animals, and so she'll make these videos and you have all PETA and all that go after him and he shut it down and he reopens and they hate each other and that's what they establish in the first episode and then. What's it called? He sends, and then he gets so mad that he literally videotapes himself sending a viper, puts it in a box, and sends it to her house. So when she opens it up, the snake jumps out at her.
Oh, okay.
And then what's it called? Oh, there's also I stuck around because one of his workers, their arm got bit off by a tiger. But then after that, I checked out. I was like, okay, I'm done with the show. Also, I knew this because they introduced it, but this. He's gay too, which
Joe Exotic?
Mm-hmm. Has has like 3 boyfriends, open relationship,
Nice.
crazy gun. I don't think. All I know is that he loved guns, and I said that's another thing that turned me off. He was like one of those like crazy redneck types of people. And I was like, I'm out. I was like, ugh.
I'm not surprised. He kind of does look like a redneck.
Do you know that meme? That's the meme I was talking about the other day that I thought. If anyone doesn't know, there's a meme of this lady who has blonde hair, and this guy runs up to her and asks her to sing "Shallow" by Lady Gaga.
I remember
and she
that.
sounds so good. She finally is releasing the "Shallow" cover, and I was like, "That was this year." I forgot that was this year.
Was that this year?
That was January.
I swear to God, I thought that was last year.
Yeah.
Boy, time has become such a foreign concept this year. The year has felt really long, but really fast.
Yeah.
Like, Kobe Bryant died like 6 months ago. It doesn't even feel like it was this year.
Oh my gosh. What's another thing? Little tangent, but like, why in the last few years has celebrity deaths been such a big like? Because they've been dying for a while now.
Yeah.
It's not nothing new, but in the last like
it seems like
3 years,
since 2016,
everyone's just like, we gotta. I don't know. I mean, rightfully. Is it rightfully so? I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know these people. Yes,
Yeah.
we're familiar with their work, and they brought us joy when we were watching them. But I know some of them are heroes, but I also kind of like. I don't think I've ever cried over a celebrity.
I haven't cried, but like I've been really like, saddened by it because knowing that they're not going to be able to do any more work or do any more of their philanthropy stuff, like Robin Williams and Carrie Fisher and now Chadwick Boseman. But
I think Robin Williams was the first one I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I remember coming home from school like that afternoon and being really surprised.
I just remember me and Mom were talking about it for like 2 hours, and we were in the kitchen, and I was just like, "That's crazy." And then the other one that kind of got me, it's like such as group. It was someone my age that died. That kind of it was the Cameron Boyce one, just because he was my age.
Yeah,
and I was like, "That's crazy." Because before that, everyone else has been above me or whatever. So I was like, "This is like." It still affects me if they're a big part of my childhood, but it wasn't like I haven't cried over one, so. Oh, you want me to do the Billboard one?
Sure.
What's it called? BTS released Dynamite, which the song arguably, I'm going to offend a lot of BTS fans here. I think it's the best thing they've released. But then again, I've only heard what's popular. I've not heard their deep cut stuff, their filler stuff. I don't know. But
I didn't even know you listened to BTS.
I only listened to it because everyone was talking about it. And I was like, let me see what... I always have to check out what the gay pop people are like really talking about. Like, is it really good or not? So I watched it. Not bad. It's not that. It's very catchy. It's all in English because usually their songs when they first started it was all in Korean. So like, there's always the people who are like, oh, I don't understand what they're saying, so I don't like it. And I was like, if they have a nice beat or whatever, then it's fine with me. And then like eventually they keep getting having more. The songs have more English in them, and this song's full on English. It's a very generic pop song, but I don't expect a Korean boy band who English is not their first language to come out with a very heavy-hitting, well-written English song. So for that, I think, and it looks like it's going to debut at number 1, which will be their first number 1 on the Hot 100. And if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think Gangnam Style went number 1, it will be the first K-pop song in America to go number 1.
Is Gangnam Style K-pop?
Yes.
I know.
I think it went top 10, but
I know Gangnam Style wasn't Gangnam Style like the first YouTube video to reach 1 billion or 2 billion or something?
The first one to reach 2 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I remember that.
And like it was everywhere, and yeah, but yeah, I could be wrong about the K-pop thing, but I don't think I am because I don't think Gangnam Style was the highest charting K-pop song for the longest time. So I believe that is. I think it's gonna go number 1, and because their fans are crazy when it comes to buying stuff. Like if you look at the iTunes charts right now, it's Dynamite and then Dynamite acoustic version, Dynamite, and then all the remixes they released. It's 1, 2, 3. It's like I think they have the 1 to 7 spot or something of the top 10 right now. So yeah. But do I want to get into this
Do you really want to get into this one?
Okay.
You want me to do it?
No, I'm talking about BTS. Typically, they
Oh.
have a big debut and then they fall because they don't have the support of the U.S. radio. But this time it looks a little bit different, so maybe it'll stick around a little bit and you'll hear it on the radio. But a lot of the times it will debut really high and then plummet.
You can expect some mean DMs from BTS fans once we post this
work.
episode. So
My engagement will be up on my social media. It's fine. Okay, yeah, you do that one.
The Milwaukee Bucks are boycotting Game 5 of their NBA playoff series against the Orlando Magic to protest police brutality amidst the shooting of Wisconsin native Jacob Blake.
And then,
Also,
if I'm not mistaken, if it's down here,
there's like a
bunch of other ones did it too.
Players around the NBA and other celebrities are reacted to it, like LeBron James and who is that? Yeah, Halsey. The LA Lakers, Portland Trail Blazers, Houston Rockets, and Oklahoma City Thunder all followed suit in boycotting the NBA playoffs. And if I'm correct, even Major League Baseball, I think there were some MLB teams, I think like the Mets, that even boycotted the game too, which...
I mean, are we really supposed to be playing sports right now?
Yeah. And it's also... I don't see the issue here. I kind of think, the whole celebrities don't know what life is like for the average Americans. They should stay out of politics or whatever. Excuse went out the window the moment Donald Trump won the presidency back in 2016. Because are you really telling me that you're supportive of a man who is a coastal elite, craps in a golden toilet, and uses a Boeing 737 jet as a private plane? Really?
You want to know why I've kind of just connected in my brain a little bit? Maybe I'm slow. I mean, I am slow, so
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
But it's when they speak up against usually conservative policies is when they're told you shouldn't be talking about politics, and then that's usually that. And then when if they're speaking up on, what is it called? So if they identify as liberal, they're expected to use their platform to speak up on it. But if they're conservative, then they have no right being in part of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it's like they're not even protesting against a conservative policy. It's really not even political, saying Black Lives Matter. Yeah, all lives matter too, but, and as someone who used to be an all lives matter dude, I don't think there's really any reason to shoot a man in the back 7 times. Yeah. I try not to be one of those armchair police dudes, well, the police should have done this or the police should have done this. But with 3 cops going after Jacob Blake, I see no reason why why they couldn't have either 1, tased him, or 2, tackled him.
That's one thing. I said, maybe it's just me. Unless this person is a major threat to society, like they're gonna bomb a bunch of people, I don't see the point of shooting to kill. Why can't you just shoot the man? If you're gonna shoot someone, aim for the foot, or if they're a dude, aim for their penis. Because if they're clearly gonna put everyone in danger, they have no right having kids. First of all, a lot of people should not be having kids, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I was like, why? And even people saying with rubber bullets. Oh my god, pellets. That's
bullets.
Bullets. They are not rubber. They are other stuff. But
no, they're rubber, but they're like a really hard rubber.
Where even if it did hit contact with your head or whatever, it can still kill you.
Your eye can explode or whatever.
Yeah. So.
And the way the media reported on Jacob Blake was a travesty too. Like the New York Post talked about, oh yeah, he had a knife in his car. That's why they shot him. But then the 17-year-old, kid in Wisconsin that murdered 3 people, the New York Post posted an article saying that he was cleaning graffiti off a wall the day of the shooting.
I saw that one.
This kid is also the same age as Trayvon Martin, who was shot when he was 17. And when they reported on Trayvon Martin, they talked about how he had some marijuana in his system. It's really not a coincidence that when the media reports on Black people who were brutalized by police, they use the most thuggish looking photo they can find in their article, and well, this is why they were shot, or they had marijuana in their system, or there was a knife in the car.
Mhm.
But then with like a 17-year-old white kid, it's like, well,
There,
he was a wholesome person. I mean,
he's
freaking Dylan Roof got Burger King
Mhm.
after he shot up a church full of black parishioners. Really? Nah, I'm done.
What was
I'll
the?
stop right
Oh,
here.
I was about to say something, but I forgot. Oh, dang it! But it was what was I gonna say? Dang it! It'll come back to me later when we're not recording, and it'll be like, dang it. Okay, it's just I swear, like I don't want to be too controversial, but some of you have warm for brains. Worms.
And I don't want to sit here and also say all cops are bad or whatever, because, you know, my cousin Darren is a cop, and I think he's a very fine cop. You got John Lightfoot too, Barbara's brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great cop too. I've met him. He's freaking cool. Darren is cool. I don't want to sit here and say all cops are bad. There is a change that does need to be made in the way they are trained,
Mm-hmm.
and what they should do and how to de-escalate a situation instead of escalating it. It's just
Did you see that one? Sorry to cut you off. Did you see that one video of this dad who was a police officer and his kid was not doing what he said and he was still in his uniform and had the instinct to put his hand on his gun?
I saw that.
And people want to say that it's not a rape, and it's something programmed into the training. Yeah, no, Okay, well, let's move on from that.
I hope we don't get a lot of hate for what all we just said.
If you have an issue,
we are.
You can't just be like, I didn't like what you said. You have to better come with some, what's it called? Receipts and an actual point if you're gonna have some criticism. Thank you. All right. Katy Perry is releasing a game alongside of the album. I haven't played the game yet, but it's promo, whatever. I saw that. I said, that's cool. And then Victoria Justice is apparently releasing new music soon. If you don't know who Victoria Justice is, she is the main star from Victorious. That everyone thought she was going to, become big after the show. And then Ariana Grande became big. And she kind of got left in the dust. But it looks like she's coming back to music. What? It's true!
It's just funny. Shoot. And didn't Jeanette McCurdy get all jealous with how famous Ariana Grande became?
It was because she was getting paid more because her social standards were going up and she thought they should be the same. But instead of her, I don't know, taking up a Nickelodeon, decided to be petty and start making jokes about Ariana Grande. So,
Anywho.
And then last thing, you want to read that one? They're making...
Oh, yeah, LeBron James revealed the new uniforms for Space Jam. I need to rewatch the first one. It's supposed to come out next year, but I'm kind of doubting it because of COVID.
I haven't even seen Space Jam.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a long time, but it had Michael Jordan in it. It's basically kind of like what Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. Live action mixed with animation.
Isn't it a basketball movie, though?
Yeah.
All I know is what's it called? Swish Wish video was loosely based off of Space Jams, I believe.
It's an interesting outfit too. It almost feels like something you would see in the 80s just because of how brightly colored it is, and it's like, it's got that, I don't know, tunnel or whatever that's at the end of every cartoon. It's interesting.
Dang it. I just thought of something that would be really cool, but I know it's never going to happen. But I kind of want a Roger Rabbit Disney Plus TV show. That'd be so cool. Just like
they were supposed to do a sequel. I think it got canceled when Bob Hoskins died.
I thought if I'm not mistaken, is what I've heard is that Steven Spielberg, because he directed it, right? He doesn't have a good relationship with Disney, and so that's why Roger Rabbit isn't involved in the parks or anything because he's attached to Steven Spielberg. And
you got isn't there a Roger Rabbit ride?
There's a ride, but that's because it was made when they were still on good terms.
Oh.
But that's why he's not walking around in the parks, and that's why they haven't made any new content, because I believe Steven Spielberg owns the rights to him, or there's something where they would have to go through him
Yeah.
to get approval, and he would never approve anything with Disney, which he's a gatekeep. He's gatekeeped other stuff.
Gate kept.
Get kept, yeah, that with the whole who can be in the Oscars or whatever. You remember that? Was it 2 years ago with all the that Netflix movie that got nominated, and he was like, that shouldn't be here. That's not a it's a different category. Blah blah blah. When's the last hit movie he had? A while ago.
I was about to say he's a good director though.
He's a good director, but there's those people that always you're good at your job, or you're good at your job. Why can't you just stand there, look pretty, and do your job and not speak? Don't open your mouth.
That's
a lot of white men in Hollywood, in America. Thank you.
Speaking of movies, Batman got a new trailer. The Batman got a teaser trailer.
There was the Batman trailer. There was a special look at the Suicide Squad. And then there was another trailer for Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
I watched the Wonder Woman trailer. I've been watching the Batman trailer, but I don't care that much about Batman.
Honestly, it was such an awesome trailer. Watching, and pardon my language, watching Batman beat the shit out of somebody was just absolutely amazing.
It's still dark. Not like it's dark subject. It literally, I was watching that trailer, the part where he beats up the other dude, and I said, if I didn't see a fist flying in front of the camera, I wouldn't even know he was beating up the man.
Yeah. I am kind of excited about the take on Riddler, though, because it seems like ever since Jim Carrey did the role back in the 90s for, I think it was Batman Forever, the Riddler's kind of been a borderline Joker character.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting. I can't wait. Wonder Woman 84 looks pretty good.
I don't like how a part of me wants the movies now. Why do we have to wait a whole another year?
And we might even have to wait longer.
Also, like, another thing too is I'm kind of not at peace. I'm upset still, but I highly think that a lot of movie theaters are going to be closing, so it's going to force them to go into some other alternative. Bring back drive-in movies. How about that?
There's some drive-in theaters around here.
There's the closest drive-in actual theaters like Merced. I want to go to one. I want to do one once in my life.
Yeah.
We should. I know there's one in LA that's showing Mulan, Bill and Ted's whatever. You want to go down to LA and go see that one?
No.
No. Okay, well, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with our topic, which is who's overrated. I have a list of people. I have my own opinions, and then I asked some of our friends what their opinions on, and we're going to see if we agree or not. So, yeah. See you in a minute. And we're back. Change position, not that you can see or that you care, but if it sounds different, that's probably why.
Change position.
Oh my god, John. All right, so do we want to say our opinions on who we think is overrated first, or should we go with
Does it have to be
else?
just one celebrity?
No, I got a list of people who say multiple people. Don't look at all of them.
Well, I was
surprised.
I saw Ed Sheeran on there. What a surprise.
That was me. Okay,
what a surprise.
Should we do us, or do you want me to read off of other people's and we say we agree or not agree? Because they could be the same as ours.
You can read off other people's, because I only thought of one celebrity because I thought that's what we were doing, but since we're doing multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Emma, our friend Emma, said the Kardashians. And I agree.
And so did Terry.
And Terry. So, the reason why, I don't want to say someone doesn't deserve all their success, because that's what people hear when you say this person is overrated. As a lot of people hear, well, they don't deserve their success, or they like undermining. I just think that they're overhyped, or they get put up on a pedestal when they shouldn't be on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of anyone in that family, arguably, they're all, I would say, the ones that don't get into trouble and kind of just stay in their own lane. Like, what is it, Chloe? No, it's not. Which one's the one that has black hair?
Okay,
and
most of them have black hair.
She's married. Who's she married to?
Kanye?
She's the one that's always like, not the
Courtney?
Yeah, Courtney. I don't think she's overrated just because she's not in the public eye.
She's kind of cool.
She's kind of cool, chill. Is she the one that is she the one that turns to Kim and she's like, "There's people dying." Is that her? Yeah,
that's her.
yeah. Or when she jumped in, what's it called? When Kim jumped into the water, or got thrown into the water, and she lost her earring. Yeah. She's like, "Oh my god,
There are people dying.
there's people dying," or whatever. I think Kylie, is she over? I think she just knows how to be in the public eye. She's trained very well.
Yeah.
And I hated that art. You know that article where you were like, she's self-made, $1 billion. No, I didn't agree with that. I don't know. I don't care too much to be. I don't look at them too much because I know I'm just gonna get a lot of crazy there. And then the only one I really kind of like on it, just kind of as a joke, is Chris. Because she just has all those memes.
Yeah.
And, like, honestly, if she got into, like, the whole, like, if she was actually, like, a manager over, like, music or something like, that would be kind of cool. Like, I know this would never happen because I don't even think they like each other. But if Chris was able to manage Kanye and his music, I swear, I feel like he would be more places, and not because of his weird outbursts, but for like other.
His actual music.
She just seems like such a good momager because I mean, she built. Arguably, she's the reason why that family is so popular. Besides the whole
sex tape.
No, before that, the whole the court thing, how their family got into the public eye in the first place.
Oh yeah, because her husband was. I want to say either a lawyer for O.J. Simpson or he was a prosecutor.
The O.J. Simpson thing, and the way she was able to spin it and then have the whole sex tape thing and then just launch 1,000 careers off of that whole thing is just crazy to me.
I would do anything to be her son. Mm-hmm. Of course, maybe not, because from what I understand, Rob has kind of gone crazy these last few years.
Isn't he the one that got fat? Sorry, that's really rude.
Wow. Just come out right with it.
That's all the people. Like, that's what I've known. How do I say this in not a rude way? But like, they're all petite, or they all have surgeries and all that. Yeah. And he's just the one that just like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care.
That one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he also dated Black China, and they had a kid together.
Oh yeah. Whatever happened to her? She was in the WAP video, I think. I don't know. She kind of weirds me out. I don't know that much about her. I used to get her mixed up with Snooki though when I was little.
Wow, racist, huh?
Snooki's what's it called? She's tan. Snooki's a white person.
Is she?
I don't want to assume we're racist. That's probably not the best idea. But I believe she's known because she's like always orange and all that.
Like Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Snooki's not as problematic as that, man. All right. Natalie Oh, this is Ashley's list. Ashley said Natalie Portman, Keanu Reeves, and Winona Ryder.
Thank you. Okay. Natalie Portman and Winona Ryder kind of hurt because I like them, but Keanu Reeves, I totally agree.
Is Natalie Portman the one that plays Jane in Thor?
Yeah, in the Thor movies, and she played Padme Amidala in the prequels, Star Wars prequels. But Keanu Reeves, like, he's a good dude. I see all these stories about how he donates his money, and, he's, like, humble and down to earth. I like him. He's cool. But he is so overhyped.
I think it's just like a running joke almost that he's just beloved.
I don't think so.
I think the only thing I can name that he's been in that I can remember is the Toy Story 4 movie. So I've not seen John Wick.
John Wick, The Matrix.
I haven't seen The Matrix.
Bill and Ted.
I haven't seen Bill and Ted.
I haven't seen any of these movies either.
Besides Toy Story 4.
He's gonna be in Cyberpunk 2077. He feels so overhyped. Like, there was...
Who did he date that was such a big thing? I forget who he...
I don't think he's... I think
he's
married.
I think before that, I thought he dated someone, and it was this, like, big breakup. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I know, that's just stuff that pops up on my Twitter feed, and I said, okay.
But the man is so overhyped that I think it was at the E3 either last year or the year before E3. It's like a video game thing,
Mhm.
video game convention for the uninitiated. Someone like shouted at him, "You're breathtaking." And the developers of Cyberpunk apparently found that dude on Twitter and private messaged him saying they were willing to send like a collector's edition of the game to him when it released. Really?
Okay.
Okay then.
What was that meme that was going around with him last? It was last year. That was the whole. I don't know. I don't remember. All I know, I feel like it's more of a joke. I don't know. It was on my Twitter feed for a little bit, and now it's not, and I'm okay with that. Okay, who's why? I know who. I recognize the name, and I'm sure if you name.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
I like
And
her.
she plays in Stranger Things too, I believe.
I haven't seen Stranger Things, but
I thought you watched the first season.
no.
Oh. Okay, well anyway, yeah, she's in that too.
She's also in Heathers, I believe. Right? Heather. Yeah, I think she's in Heathers, which that was a good movie. Yeah, I liked her in Beetlejuice as well. I don't know, maybe she's in other stuff that Ashley is in Ashley's realm that she doesn't understand, or I don't know.
Yeah, Heather's. Ashley doesn't like a lot of.
Have you seen it,
a lot of
Heathers?
people. No.
Oh, it's so good. You should watch it. Okay, so Amanda, our friend Amanda, which is friends of Madeline, said Maroon 5. I agree. I fully agree. They have songs that are bops, right? But some of them, I'm just kind of like, do they really? I don't know. I just feel like anyone else could release the same stuff.
I don't even feel that overrated though. Nobody really talks about them.
Have you? But like the songs that, just how I think it's because how the radio picks up their songs, no matter what they release, and is always playing them. Like Girls Like You, I hate that song. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I don't think it should have went number one. No, it's really annoying. I liked it at first, but then it got overplayed, and it's not a good. It's basic. I don't know.
You know, you could have changed the radio station, right?
No, I was in your car, and you were being all like, "No."
What?
This is before you had an aux cord. Remember?
Oh my god. If I got $1 for every time you complained that I didn't have an aux cord, I probably could have bought a car that had an
Remember
aux
that
cord.
one time I was like, "Oh my god, it's the song," and you turned it up, and we had to listen to the whole song all the way through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you saying, "Oh, I can just change the station"? No, you would have changed it right back.
I don't remember it being in my. Sorry.
I hated that song with a
You know what? I
passion.
fully expect you to be the same way in your car.
Remember when we listened to Memories? That you were like, I don't see the hype around this song. Clearly, you don't remember it, so clearly you don't see it.
Yeah.
It was on the radio forever. Disgusting. They have songs that are good, but it's always the songs that I like that never get picked up. The only song, that being said, one of the first songs I did buy was Payphone by Maroon 5, but that song is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That anything off that album, which I don't remember the album is, but it's like all graffiti. Is it All Night? Yeah, All Night. That song. Those two songs are really good. But in these last couple of years, I don't see the hype. And I think the radio I don't know, I feel like it's an easy go-to. They can allow more space for new artists. You know what I mean on radio? Like, just because it's Maroon 5 doesn't mean you gotta play it. I feel like, yeah, okay. Madison Vergara, you might not, I don't think you know who this person is. But Madison Vergara says Madison Beer.
I've sort of heard of her.
So she's an up and coming musician. I mean, she's been up and coming for like 7 years now, but I like her music. I think she has a nice voice. A lot of people don't like her because she's very pretty. Okay, how do I explain this? She's kind of like the Megan Fox of the music industry, where she's very pretty and people think that's all
That's
she is, and like kind of criticize her for everything. And she follows the same kind of, not path, but almost similar sound to Ariana Grande. So you get all these Ariana Grande fans saying that she's copying her because she likes having a ponytail and all this other stuff. But then you also get my biggest.
She kind of looks like her.
Okay, like go look at other like there's other,
Well, yeah, photos here. She's kind of cute. Not gonna
but
lie.
like she's I don't maybe I don't know what Madison has against her or
Something, I
whatever,
guess.
but like she hasn't really had a big like hit on the radio. She's still kind of up and coming. I like it. I don't agree. Don't agree. Oh, I never said if I agreed on. I agree on Keanu Reeves of Ashley's. But all the other two I don't agree with just because I haven't seen that much of them. They're not in my, you know, they don't live in my head as much as they do to hers. So,
Mm-hmm.
no. All right. So you don't know who it is, so you're going to say, I guess, no.
Yeah.
All right. So Leah said Cardi B.
Yeah.
I understand it.
But
I'm trying to think because there are things where I think that she isn't as strong as. Okay, this is all opinion based. It's not a factual thing because I don't know that much about hip hop and bars and writing verses for rap songs. So you have to take everything with me with a grain of salt. But with what I've heard, she has a ghostwriter, which that's a big no-no in the whole hip hop world.
mm-hmm.
So there's that. And she's said multiple times that she's only in it for the money and the recognition. She's not in it because she enjoys the art of it and anything like
No,
that.
she's just in it for them. I
So
remember you telling me
I
that.
kind of like, a part of me is kind of like, okay, then if you're just doing that and just here for a hit, then you're not going to be here that long because, it's not your passion.
Whoops, sorry.
Wow, John, looking through. We're not even paying attention to this podcast. Rude. Okay. But yeah, I guess. I mean, there's a couple songs. Like, I like WAP. Honestly, at first I was
That
like,
was honestly a good song.
honestly,
I
was like, I don't think it's. I was like, I don't get their hype around it, but I think Megan Thee Stallions made the song for me. I mean, there was a few lines that are stuck in my head, so and she does have really good music videos. So I'm gonna say I half agree, half disagree, but I still think Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper. Okay. All right, my friend Hannah, she didn't say anything, but her two friends with her said these people is Marshmello, the DJ, and Beyonce. I agree with Marshmello
agree with
full-heartedly.
Beyonce.
Marshmello, I don't hate him. Like, I honestly, like, I'll listen to songs. I have songs on my playlist from him, but I do think his production gets kind of overhyped because it is very similar and is very one note.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems to be the case with a lot of DJs, so I don't know if I can harp too much into it. But I do think because he's very popular amongst, like, the gaming community, because I think he came from the gaming community, and, like, if you ask like anyone like probably like 16 and under, maybe 17 and under, they know who he is because he has that iconic marshmallow head and very distinct kids. I can see why kids like that, that whole thing. But yeah, I agree with Marshmello. There's a couple songs I really like of him, like that Friends song with Anne Marie. I listen to that like nonstop. And then like yeah, but besides that, he has a good couple when he remixes other people's songs. Like when like I don't know if you've, but like a lot of times with like there's a popular song they release remixes and it's like dubstep remixes and stuff like that. A lot of the times like Marshmello, Zed, other big music producers will make their own version of with the song, and usually those of once he does, they're usually really good. But his own original stuff, sometimes I think is overrated. And then Beyonce, I just think there's no one like her right now, so that's why she gets all the praise.
But
there's no one who's doing dancing like her and
calling her and Jay-Z like American royalty or whatever and Queen Bee, just
okay. I don't think Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z's a little bit overrated. But with Beyonce, I understand the hype. I don't think I would say I think it's because I understand it. It's just like she's done so much in her career. I think that's where it comes from, and she was always the standout, even when she was in Destiny's Child. And I think it's just the star power behind it, or just because when you're watching, like I don't think you can really say when you watch a Beyonce performance, you can't be like, oh, this is bad. You can still be like, I'm entertained. You can feel the presence of her in it. I think that's what people go off of. And the only other person in my mind that could come close to her status or whatever is like I mean Madonna, of course, and like I put Rihanna up there because Rihanna has some. I mean, I don't really see Rihanna as a. I mean, she can dance and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like choreography.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you look at Beyonce, you know you're gonna get a good song, dancing, and like a full on performance, and I think that's where all the hype comes from. So I don't agree with Beyonce, but so you agree with Beyonce?
Yeah.
Okay, and okay, this is mine. This is mine. I put down Ed Sheeran.
Gee, what a surprise!
I just don't.
You hate that man so much. I don't get it.
Hate him that much. I just don't think about him a whole lot.
I don't think about him a whole lot either, but it seems like he lives rent free in your mind.
I just think that his music isn't as good as everyone makes it out to be. I'm sorry, but like, just listen to any of his songs. Anything he touched, it's just something sonically that what he does in his songs, just not my brain does not like. Even before he's been like overplayed, even when he first was up and coming, the songs I listened to, my brain was like, I don't really care for it. And so when he got really popular, I was just like, what do you all see that I don't see? And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I didn't like the A-Team. Everyone was, I love the A-Team. Why? Let's see. What else was it Don't? The one where he's, like, half rapping in it? Everyone's, this is so good. He's like a rapper. No. Because Lord knows, I think it's just the double standards. It's not his fault. It's just what surrounds him. And so my brain goes, ew, no. Is that if a female artist, because we saw that with Ariana Grande, had one rap verse in the song and was criticized for it, but this man does it in his song and is praised for it. Okay. 6ix9ine.
He doesn't even get talked about that much. He only gets talked about when people talk about snitches.
Okay, but like, when you're on... I mean, even with what... I mean, you don't listen to the music, so I wouldn't expect... And you're not that involved in the music community. But in the music community, it's always when you're always, you know, going through the comments and you always see that one, like... usually it's a boy. That one, like... macho boy in the... You know what I'm talking about? Like the men in the comments on, like, Twitter. You always, you know, if there's always a viral tweet and it says something kind of controversial, there's always that one man in the comments. It's like, well, if it's the women, like, those type of men. Yeah. They're always in the comments, and that's who they always say they like listening to. And I say, why? And there's nothing special about his rapping. I don't understand the hype around him. So, do you agree or not agree? Even though you don't think about him that much.
I'm neutral.
Wrong answer. Drake. I understand that Drake has been very big in the rap community, has done a lot for the rap community, but
kind of weird.
I don't understand he's literally, dare I say, desperate just in the rap community. Have you heard Tootsie Slide? Literally his own version of, what's that song called? The Cha-Cha Slide. He literally made it for TikTok so it could go viral on TikTok so we can have another #1. That was the sole reason behind the song. Not because he was inspired to write it or whatever, not because it's a fun time. He was having a fun time. He literally did it so he could make money. And that just showed me how desperate and kind of money hungry he was. And I just there's a lot of songs by him, and I just don't understand why they're popular.
I just think he's weird. There was one point where he got really, really close with Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And like him and everyone's like, oh, I miss him and Rihanna when they were dating. Because you remember that? Like 2016, 2017, around then. I just remember like they just broke up, but it was like not a big thing. But it was like, It was like everyone acted like it was a mutual thing, but I don't think it was a mutual thing because they haven't talked to each other since. That's not my team, whatever. Okay, last thing is Eminem. I don't understand the hype around Eminem. It seems from my list, it looks like I'm just hating on rappers. I promise, there's rappers I do enjoy, but I don't understand the hype around Eminem. I want to know why he gets the pass. Okay, okay.
To say the N word.
This is very controversial, but
oh boy, here we go.
So there's kind of a gatekeeping when it comes to the hip hop community. From what I've seen, I don't know how it is in the inside. Once again, not that well involved with the hip hop community, but what I've seen is there's a gatekeeping of what is acceptable and what's not acceptable for white rappers to do. And it seems like Eminem gets a free pass on almost everything, but they criticize all these other white rappers.
Like who?
Like Black Bear, Machine Gun Kelly, all these other rappers that were rappers first, but they went into other genres because they're low-key, their community kind of turned their backs on them.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? I'm trying to think of other white rappers. I mean, it's too early for some of these other ones, but it just seems like they just excuse Eminem because he was a big rapper, like one of the only white rappers, and
at one point,
and he has all these records, so that somehow justifies it. But like, he said a lot of controversial things, and it seems like it goes over people's heads because, well, he's a rapper, he raps about deep stuff. I was like, I don't know. Part of me is kind of like, I just kind of think it's weird that you're rapping about stuff that you haven't been affected by. Like him mentioning the Manchester bombing attack in one of his songs. Bad taste. And then like he's spoken out about how he doesn't stand for like homophobia and like all these injustices, but he says the slur for gay men or for gay people in his songs, and has misogynistic lyrics in his music and stuff like that. And it's not like it's that was a couple years ago. No, it's literally in his like recent albums. And he goes, well, he's speaking as, like, context or referencing it. No, it sounds pretty,
messed up.
Him saying it. Okay. So, yeah, I think Eminem's overrated. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm kind of in the middle. He feels overhyped, but at the same time, he really doesn't. If that makes sense,
I don't know, because I think he's overrated. And then Elizabeth says James Charles, which is the first YouTuber that's popped up on our list. I was surprised no more YouTubers were popping up. I'm going to say no, because there is no one that... Yeah, I'm going to say no, because the way he was able to maneuver his career so quickly truly shows he has somewhat of a grasp and, like, knows an idea. And
yeah.
And, like, to me... this could just be to me, it's cool seeing
a guy do makeup.
Like, first of all, a guy do makeup, because, I mean, it's not that big of a deal anymore, per se, as it was 10 years ago, but just when all the male beauty gurus started to come up, it was very, like, because on YouTube at that point, you hadn't really had, like, gay representation or anything like that in the makeup community that was popularized. So when you did have all that, you were like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then just the way he's able to, like, he's 21 now and is already living in a multi-million-dollar house, has a multi-million-dollar brand, and he didn't come from money and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like he was like a lot of the other YouTube stars where they were like dirt poor. He was comfortable, but still being able to, flourish and succeed. I just admire it. And also having the mental stability to go through what he has gone through with the whole what's it called, Jeffree Star Tati situation, where the whole internet turns on you. Kind of, in my head, kind of like he deserves his hype for the sole fact that he was able to do all this in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, and he doesn't feel overrated or overhyped. Like, it kind of just seems like you got all these people that try to take him down. You
Which he's
know?
done, questionable stuff, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. But it also, every single person does questionable stuff. It's not like he's by no fault. Like, it's not. I don't know. I just like, yes, there's stuff that he was very ignorant to. I will say,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not. And I have no room of speaking on if he should be forgiven on it or not, because I am not. It doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like when with his Ebola comments with Africa and that whole thing. But I don't know. I feel like he just exists and he's a popular, so you're gonna have the people that just don't understand why he's popular, which I don't understand. Yes, there are other really good makeup people on YouTube that you can go watch that are, opinion, like, arguably better than James Charles, but it's not that he got popular off of just beauty, because he's done everything, almost. He's done a lot of other things, and I think that's why he's so popular. Is because he didn't hit the ceiling of where beauty can take you, because honestly, with beauty, you could go watch a bunch of other people do a makeup review or whatever, but I think they go to him for his personality and all that,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. I don't agree that he's overrated. Do you agree that he's over? You already said you don't think he's overrated. Okay, so you want to go into your list of people you think is overrated?
This is gonna be a very long episode. I couldn't think of any more celebrities outside of Keanu Reeves. It's just that one dude.
Is there any musicians you kind of like popped on the radio and you're just like, they don't do it for me like they do it for other people besides Beyonce?
Usually Pink.
Pink.
Well, I think it's kind of the same issue that you have with Maroon 5, and where the songs are just overplayed. Especially What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger.
That is not Pink, sir.
What?
That is Kelly Clarkson.
Or what? Crap, what was it?
What About Us?
Yeah, that one. I had a brain fart. Sorry. It's 9:46. It's after my bedtime because I'm old. But yeah, no, What About Us? Are you sure What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger is Kelly Clarkson?
Yes.
Swear to God, she sounds like Pink.
It's called Stronger.
I swear she
by
sounds
Kelly
like
Clarkson.
Pink. Anyway.
But I think for me, what doesn't make her overrated is she can sing. She's very, public about her opinions and has a good personality. The only thing I have an issue with her about is the way she kind of went after Demi Lovato back in 2015. But I think they kissed and make up, so it's fine. But it was just weird because she criticized her performance because she was in a bathing suit outside. I was like, hey, what you doing? But I like how she's not raising her child with gender norms. I think that's really cool. A lot of people have a lot to say about that. And I said, it's not your child. Why do you have so much opinions on how she's raising her child? But I think what stands out to me for Pink is she's really good at performing and singing. Yeah, her stuff does get picked up by the radio and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say she's overrated. I just think that her songs can be overhyped at some points, but I do enjoy her older songs, especially So What and stuff like that. I really like those. Okay, you got any YouTubers that you don't see the hype around? That I talk about, that other people talk about?
Not really.
I mean, I don't get the hype around I mean, I'm not the demographic for these people, but I don't see the hype around like the Ace family, the Paul brothers, Joe. I mean, I don't think JoJo Siwa was overrated just because she's doing her thing, and I don't. It's not my demographic, but like, I guess some of these TikTok stars, I don't see. I think they're overrated just because they're pretty, they're good to look at, and that's why they're popular. But like, yeah, that's pretty much it. All the this is the words of Mac does it. This is not my words. It's all the dick slinging teenagers that are. He doesn't understand why they're popular. Have you seen any of these dancing videos? They're not
No.
teenagers. They're all 18 and above. So before we get canceled for saying that, but like,
No.
it should really just like watch one or two. Half the time they're wearing like boxers or whatever, and like I think the sole purpose of them dancing is just so they can show off. You know, you can see outprint. You see, yeah, it's very. You're like really your target, and then your fan base is like a bunch of 12-year-old girls. This seems kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, people say like, is Charlie D'Amelio, the girl with 80 million TikTok followers, is she overrated? I think she just was doing dances, and everyone else said, "Hey, that's easy enough. I could do that," and that's how she got popular.
Yeah.
And yeah, she did, still a dance from a black girl, and that renegade dance, that whole controversy. But I honestly think and I don't really think there was any malicious intent behind it. I think she just saw a dance that she could challenge herself to and forgot to credit the girl, and for some reason never credited her until she got called out for it. Because honestly, because that sounds like something that a lot of kids would do when they're. Because she was, how old she is 15 now, so at the time 14, either 13 or 14 years old. I I don't really think there was any malicious intent behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what was her name? I don't want to call her because me just calling her the black girl sounds very rude. I should know her. Oh, what's her name? It starts with a K. All I know is that it is known fact that it's her dance now. She's making money off of it. I'm so sorry. Should have. I don't know. But that's who we think is overrated. I wonder if we should do another episode instead of who's overrated, what's overrated, and we can talk about like food.
Oh, are we done?
All
Because
that.
I had other people.
Oh, okay, then go.
There were some that, like Mom and a couple of other folks, said Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
I'm trying to think about Brad Pitt movie.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I haven't
He
seen
didn't
that.
do Megamind.
Yeah, he did. He was.
Didn't?
He's,
Did
He's what's it called? The superhero in that.
Was that him?
He's the voice of the superhero
No
in
way.
Megamind. Who else?
Wait, are you talking about Mega Man? Or
Megamind?
he didn't do the voice of Megamind. That was Will Ferrell.
No, not of Megamind, of the superhero in Megamind. The guy, the has dark hair. He's kind of like a spoof on Superman.
Oh, Metro Man.
Yeah,
I
Metro
didn't
Man.
know that was him. Shoot, the more you know, I guess.
That's the only thing I can think of when I think of Brad Pitt, is I think of the voice from Megamind, but okay. And then I don't think Angelina Jolie. I like everything I've seen her in, she's been good in.
Yeah,
So
Salt, Maleficent, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yeah. I don't think they're overrated. And then I had a couple people say Ryan Reynolds.
the man who plays Deadpool?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Nuh-uh.
Uh-uh.
I feel like, I will say, since he played Deadpool, did, the role of Deadpool for the first time, or technically the first time, we won't talk about his Deadpool and the Wolverine, but when he first did the first Deadpool movie back in, I think it was
2016.
2016, I feel like there are times where he tries too hard, like just to be funny or something like that.
I think he just hit it out of the park, and so he has to feel like he has to keep up that momentum.
He's kind of found proper ground now because he got a lot of crap for, the Green Lantern movie.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he's a cool guy.
I think another thing too is they saw the bit Deadpool was such a good movie and he's so good at playing this sarcastic character.
Yeah.
Is that's the only role he gets casted in now is the sarcastic kind of thing, which suits him, but I feel like it will be an overkill eventually. You're like, oh, he's another sarcastic role? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just like they look at like Emma Roberts is the same thing where it's like she's really good at playing the like, you know, bitchy, snotty like girl that always has that one liner.
A typecast, basically.
A typecast, yeah.
And then my friend Sabrina said Taylor Swift.
I used to agree with that. Remember when I went through that phase of I did not enjoy her.
When Katy Perry and Taylor Swift had a lot of bad blood, and you were,
which I still think Taylor Swift was in the wrong during that fight, but I do think, and I also would let her fans cloud my judgment of her because her fans are not a reflection of her as a person.
Yeah.
And it's also back when I thought I was, you know, woke, and I was like, well, she doesn't speak up in political terms, so I can hate her just for that reason, too. And I was like, now that she is spoken, like, she's very, you know, put a sock in my mouth with the whole, how outspoken she is now. But I honestly, now, there are stuff, like her Folklore album, I think I don't enjoy it as much as everyone else, but I don't think it's for me to enjoy as much as everyone else. And stuff like that. I do think that there's some like she's a really I can admire her now, and yeah, I admire her now, and now that all that stuff is behind us, and I kind of just gave up on hating on I was hating on her just because it was so much energy and I constantly had to keep up with it, and I said, you know what, I'm over it. Maybe that, and also she kind of gave me an album arguably I listened to a lot, which was Reputation. So, okay. Who else on your list?
Mom said Tom Cruise.
I agree.
I disagree. I mean,
I don't really. I think the Mission Impossible movies are overrated. I haven't seen him. I've seen him in other stuff, but like, I don't know. Whatever.
I think he's a good actor. Even at over 50 years old, he's still doing action movies.
I don't know. I just think people. I don't know. I don't have too much opinion on Tom Cruise. It's whatever. Okay, who else?
That's actually it.
Okay. Well, I want to make it fun. If anyone's listening to this, you should comment or send us a voice message on Anchor if you agree and if you have your own opinions on who you think is overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Just know, if you say Ariana Grande, you are being blocked from the podcast. That's a given.
Oh my word!
I'm just saying. I was. That's the one thing I was scared about. Me asking this question, if I saw one person Ariana Grande and they were my friend, I was like, I know this is so petty, but I'd be like, I'm gonna look at you differently. Just know. I don't think I would unfriend them, but I would just know, hey, this person has really bad taste in music. So,
man, you're petty.
I am petty, but I'm sorry. She's just like, she's my number one. Okay, so
you're gonna choose a Weeknd album?
Oh, I guess I should check. Okay, can I make a confession?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I've tried listening to his other. Okay, I haven't tried listening to his Beauty Beyond the Madness album, but I did try listening to Starboy, and I could not get through it all the way. So I can't claim that I am a full Weeknd fan or stan.
So you're a fake fan.
I'm a fan of his work. But the album I do love, and it's really good, is After Hours. So I guess I recommend After Hours by The Weeknd. Honestly, you can listen to the regular one because the deluxe version, it really adds nothing to it. So if you want to listen to the deluxe one, if you like the album, then you can. But After Hours by The Weeknd, it's the album with blinding lights and all that in there. So, you know, fun. Arguably, you should listen. Okay, this is a side note, but In Your Eyes, the song on the album, if you want to listen to the Doja Cat version, that version's better, but you don't have to. But it's not included on the actual album. It's a separate thing, but you can listen to that if you want to. So After Hours is the album I am choosing. What movie are you going to choose? Or movie or TV show? Just know if it's a TV show, it's harder to get through compared to a movie.
I was going to say The Dark Knight, But Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith from Star Wars.
Episode 3.
Is that the prequels? Okay.
Kind of a hot take, but it's actually one of the best Star Wars movies. I think the prequels get too much undeserved hate.
I haven't watched the I didn't watch the pre. You know, when I was trying to watch all the Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
movies, I stopped at in the middle of the third original one, which is
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I stopped in the middle of Return of the Jedi. I didn't even attempt watching the prequels, but I have seen. Which is the one where they fight in the volcano?
Revenge of the Sith.
That is. I have that one, so I've seen it before, so I'll watch that. That's the only Star Wars movie we owned, was that one.
Well, now you can watch all of them. Disney Plus.
Okay, so that was the podcast. I'm sorry this one was a little more all over the place. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as the almost 2-hour one, I think. I don't know how long this one is, but
I feel like almost 2 hours.
probably. All right. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, please rate it. Yeah, you can rate them.
Share it.
Share it with
Show your other
friends.
friends.
We want to get our listeners up. We gotta kind
Make
of
us famous, please. We want to be rich and famous.
I
We
don't
want to
know.
get out of Modesto.
Yeah, that is true. Let us out, please. But if you enjoyed this podcast, please let us know. If you have any more topics, we're running out of topics already. So
We kind of are.
if you have any topics, please let us know. We'll talk about pretty much anything. If you want us to start having guests on here, please let us know, because I kind of want to have people on. I feel like it'd be more fun if we had more people.
Yeah.
Okay, and then our social medias. Do you know your social medias off the top of your head?
Do we
John?
have to do our social media?
Yes, they have to follow us
Why?
because that's one of the funnest parts about the podcast is where they can find us.
Find us?
I'm sorry, I'm tired, and yeah.
Well, it's your fault. You always take an hour to, get things off the ground.
It comes from the man who cannot find. Never
What?
mind.
What? Say it.
My train of thought.
Say it.
Sharkboy Lava Girl,
Yeah.
the train of thought crashes into
Yeah.
I think that's what happened to my brain just now. So.
That's what happens to your brain all the time.
Yeah. I need a brain transplant. If anyone wants to, hook me up.
You need a personality transplant.
Wow, coming from you.
Hey, I think I have a terrific personality.
Well, that's all that matters is if you think. It doesn't matter what other
Shut
people
up.
think.
Shut up.
All right, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Matthew Gray, spelled MATHYOUGREY, and you can follow John at Russell_John on Twitter.
If you want better content, you can follow me on Twitter at Russell, like Russell with your Jimmies _John. Instagram is John_Russell. And then Snapchat is all lowercase Johnny0398.
I don't know if you want my Snapchat, it's MG1499. I don't post that much on it, though.
I don't post much either, so hey. But add me if you want.
All right, so thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.